How to build business credit without a personal guarantee. Business credit is essential for any aspiring or established entrepreneur. No matter where you are in your entrepreneurship journey, you need business credit. It will unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars that you can use for your business, which will allow you to be successful. So let me tell you exactly how to do it without risking your own credit in the process. Let's go. I'm going to share with you an easy step-by-step process for getting this done that I have students doing every single day, and it still works. You can literally look in the comment box below and see that this is working for other people. I'm going to give you my biggest secret for building business credit faster than I did it for sure. And I'm going to give you a super secret bonus insider tip on how to get $10,000 in your business's name in the next 30 days. Okay, so let's talk business credit versus personal credit, because this is the first thing that you need to understand for you to be able to accomplish any of this. So business credit is much different from your personal credit. So your personal credit, many of us are already aware, we have 3 different bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And those 3 credit bureaus will report our personal credit. So if you have a car loan, if you have personal credit cards, if you have a mortgage, student loans, things like that, those will all report on your personal credit. And we all have a personal credit score that's really tied to some things that business credit is not. So I'll tell you the difference right now. Business credit is completely separate. You have the same, well, you have 2 of the same bureaus, but they're different. So you have Equifax Business, you have Experian Business, and you have the big one, Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet is the major depository or reporting agency for business credit. But the thing that is so much different from business credit versus personal credit is what they are looking for and how they score you. So with personal credit, as many of you guys know, it's pretty easy to mess up your personal credit score. You can get a couple of credit cards. If you pay them late, you're gonna have a low credit score. Or even if you use those credit cards and your limit and your balance is close to your limit, you're gonna have a low credit score. But the great thing with business credit is they look at something different. They, of course, know that you're a business. They want you to borrow money. They usually lend a lot more to you than they do for personal, 1. 2, as you use that debt and you're able to pay that debt, they reward you much differently than they do on the personal credit side. You can easily see your credit score go up on the business credit side really quickly just by paying on time, even if you're using most of the credit line that they gave you. Because what they're looking for on the business credit side is how well you manage your debt. As a business, they want businesses. They know that big businesses have big debts, okay? If you look at any large corporation, Microsoft, Apple, whoever you look at, I promise you, they have tons of debt, millions and billions of dollars, in fact, okay? But the reason why they can grow their company is because they can leverage all of that money, all of that capital. And as long as they're able to pay it back, banks and lenders will continue to lend them that money so that they can keep growing their business and their business gets larger and larger and larger. But the problem is most small business owners see themselves as a small business and they rely on their personal credit and they never really tap into this business credit side, which unlocks millions of dollars for your business, literally millions. And so let me tell you how you do that, because it is so easy and I made the biggest mistake and waited too long and I don't want you to do that. So let's get into that part. So let me tell you how I unlocked millions of dollars in business credit and how you can do the same. So like I said, my biggest mistake with business credit is I started way too late, okay? So I literally started in real estate investing. I literally was in my parents' basement. I was bankrupt. I had multiple foreclosures on my credit report. I was married. I was pregnant. I was a loser, okay? Literally didn't have a college degree. Ended up back in my parents' basement because I was trying to flip houses and I didn't know what I was doing. And so when we lost our jobs, we lost everything. But in that low moment, in that embarrassment, in that low time for me, I literally got serious about real estate investing and I found me a coach that taught me how to do wholesaling. He taught me how to buy properties with no money and no credit, okay? So I'm gonna tell you how you put all this together in just a second. So that was what my plan was. Because I had bad credit and I had no money, I could only do wholesaling. I could only get properties under contract and then flip those contracts to investors that had money. Because I had bad credit, I couldn't do anything with the property, but I could make a fee for doing that. And so that was an amazing way for me to kind of get on my feet. I started wholesaling, getting $5,000, $10,000 for that. Then I started fixing and flipping, and then I started getting some rental properties. So this is how that changed my life. I was able to quit my job, literally walked away from a six-figure job just with my rental properties. Mind you, you have not heard me say one thing about business credit, right? I did it the hard way. So let me tell you the easy way to do it, because this came along after I was literally already full-time entrepreneur, working for myself, teaching people how to do this. I had a student that came along and he taught me how I can make more money on my properties. Instead of doing long-term rentals, we could do short-term rentals and do Airbnb and make 2-3 times what I was making on a rental property. And I did. Literally started making $1,500, $2,000 on one property where I was just making $300 before. But I now started to know about business credit. So when I was going to turn some of those properties from long-term tenants, unfurnished apartments and unfurnished houses, I needed to furnish all of those properties. I needed to put towels and sheets and forks and knives in the property, but I didn't want to use my own money. At the time I was learning about business credit and I started getting some business credit cards. I literally was able to buy everything from my units on business credit. Did not affect my personal credit at all. I was able to furnish all the properties, buy everything that I needed. And before I even had to repay any of that money back, I already had my properties rented and I was already making money. It was like a light bulb went off, and that skyrocketed me from 6 figures into 7 figures. And I'm telling you, you can skip that part and go right to the 7 figures just by unlocking some of this business credit that I'm going to tell you how to do. So let's talk about how you build business credit without a personal guarantee, because this is amazing and this is something that you can do immediately. Literally, I have students that do this in one day. In order to build business credit, you will need an actual business, okay? So you're gonna need your business registered either as an LLC or a C Corp or an S Corp. You'll get it registered with the Secretary of State. In some states, you can do it in one day and you can do it all online. You're gonna need a professional phone number. You can get one through Grasshopper or Freedom Voice. You're going to need a professional email, easy to do. You can buy it from GoDaddy or Google Domains or epic.com. You can buy a domain name after you've named your business. So one of the things, just giving you a quick example. So say you have a business and it is ABC Properties or ABC Enterprises. Go ahead and check and see if that domain name is available. Just Google domain names, GoDaddy, and you can search and see if that domain name is available and get a website. You'll also need a professional phone number and a professional address. Those are the simple things that you need, and that is it. And then once you have those things, you'll go and you'll get an IRS number, an EIN number directly from irs.gov. This is completely free, okay? Completely free. Once you have these things established, you can start building business credit. And again, I literally have students that do those 5 things in one day. They get their business registered, professional phone number, professional email, okay? Get their website and their domain name, and then they get an EIN number. Those 5 things, done. That's all you need in order to get this going and start establishing business credit. Next step. So next step is the Dun & Bradstreet number. This is super easy. So like I said, once you have all these things established, you go directly to dnb.com, Dun & Bradstreet, dnb.com, and you can get your free DNB number for your business for free, okay? This is absolutely free. You go ahead and apply. There's a quick process where they're going to mail you a code. You have to go back in there, put the code in, and then you're all set up. That is it, okay? So now you have a profile with Dun & Bradstreet. I'm gonna tell you a couple of things that you buy to get some trade lines, and you are off to the races. Okay, the next thing, so that you can, again, get this business credit with no personal guarantee, there's 3 different accounts that you can go ahead and purchase things from these companies, and they will report to the Business Credit Bureau. One of those companies is Uline, Uline. Another company is Quill, Quill, and another company is Grainger, Grainger. You have to purchase at least something for $50, but in many cases, you don't even have to buy it. They will give you an invoice, okay? They will invoice you, and you don't have to pay the invoice for 30 or 60 days. And this is them loaning you money, but you get those products immediately. So those are your first ways to get some accounts. But before you do that, I want to encourage everyone to get a business checking account, okay? This is like a new super secret thing that people do not know. So many businesses forget to get a business checking account. And I'm going to tell you, there is so much opportunity right now. Many of the banks are flooded, okay? And I mean literally flooded with more money than they have allocated and given out in loan to businesses. They have a lot of money that they need to lend to businesses, women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, veteran-owned business, disabled-owned businesses. There's tons of different categories where they've set this money aside. And it is some of the most untapped money out there right now. They've literally, I read an article where literally there was over $100 billion of stimulus money for businesses that has just not been used. So when you go to get your business checking account, in many cases, they will offer you a business credit card right there. Remember, they already checked your credit for the business checking account, so it's not like another inquiry, okay? And again, this is in your business's name. So when you start swiping that card, your personal credit score is not just gonna start going down. And this was unheard of 5 years ago, okay? Literally, when I started my business, if you went and got a business checking account, they would never in a million years given a startup any business credit card. They just did not do it. You could only get the secured credit cards. Now you can even get unsecured credit cards right when you do it. So another thing that you want to do, again, with establishing business credit without a personal guarantee is those secured credit cards. So yes, you got the business checking account. If they offer you the unsecured credit card in your business's name, take it. But either way, keep building. Do the Uline, do the Grainger, do the Quill, because those are vendor accounts and you want those trade lines to report. Okay. The next thing that you want to do is apply for some secured business credit cards. And there's tons of them out there. I'll put a few links below. I actually have a whole link. I'll give you a PDF with some companies that are doing it right now. You can just click the link below and you can grab that tool for you. That's a quick little blueprint that I'll give you that just has some lenders right now that I know will lend to you without a personal guarantee if you follow these few steps that I've said. So this is super easy to get going. Once you have those secure credit lines and you have some of those credit cards, they will immediately start to offer you, probably after about 6 months, they will start to offer you more and more credit, and you can leverage one credit card to get other credit cards, okay? Because once you show lenders that you have business credit already, other lenders will give you more business credit cards, and it will just grow and grow and grow without you even having to touch your personal credit or without them ever checking your credit again. And last but not least, there's 2 more things that I want to tell you that you can do, of course, is a business line of credit. So once you have business credit cards, they will usually offer you a business line of credit after 6 months or a year if you've paid your credit card payments on time. Make sure you pay them on time. Paying your bills on time, especially in your business's name, can exponentially increase how much money they will lend you. Literally, you can call those same credit cards, lines of credits, every 6 months and get those balances increased. So long as you've been paying on time, in many cases, they will do it. They want to fund your business and keep your business growing. And they are not really as concerned as to if your limit is close to your balance. So that's an amazing thing. And this is how you unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars in a matter of months. So let me give you, because I promised you this, and I'm a big person of keeping my promise. Super secret thing that exists right now that was not out there before is get yourself a Square business account and get yourself a PayPal business account. Both of those companies are offering working capital to startups, okay? I literally have students that did this and in 30 days had $10,000, okay? So you could do it either with Square or PayPal, or 3 months of your business checking account. You have 3 months of bank statements. I have a ton of lenders that will lend you at least $10,000 with just those statements. So please go ahead to noellsfreetraining.com. I have a free training, a full course. It's a little bit too long to put up here, but it's a full training absolutely for free on the exact formula for investing in real estate without losing money, how to find deals for free, how to do this and really change your life and your status. Again, absolutely free at noellsfreetraining.com. This is Noelle. To your success.